All right. Well, good morning. Your Yoga Flow. It's a pleasure to get to share this fusion class with you. Um, I am grateful I get to teach today at one of the studios I teach at. This is Shakti in Nashville, Tennessee. So if you're ever in Nashville, you would like to take a class, I would love to have you here. This is one of the places I teach. And the fusion class, if you're familiar with the Hot 26 sequence, the Bikram sequence. It's going to take those postures and then combine it with a little Vinyasa elements. So there's going to be a little more breath to posture movement. Traditionally, it's around a 60-minute class. You're not holding it as long as you would in a Bikram or Hot 26 class, but that's just going to at least give you the framework. So we'll go ahead and get started. I've never taught it in 30 minutes, so there's going to be some modifications and adjustments. But let's go ahead and just get started at the top of your mat. You can roll your shoulders up and down your back. And then heel toe your feet together so the ball mounds of your big toes are touching, and there's like a sliver of space between your heels. And slight tuck here in your tailbone. You're going to reach up into a mountain pose. In your mountain pose, slight tuck again in the tailbone, so feel your low ribs and your hip points come in towards one another. So this way we're lengthening our spine, but we're strong and supported across our core. And hands reach up. So if you can, try to eliminate any bend here in your elbows by using your triceps and fingertips lift towards the ceiling. And from here, can you bring your arms back just a little further? Think biceps by your ears. And stay for an inhale. Maybe look up towards your hands now. And then back bend, cactus your arms. So squeeze here softly at your glutes, sending your hips forward, sending your heart high. You're strong across your back as you lift across your chest. And then mountain pose. Take your hands back up as you breathe in. As you breathe out, bring your palms together. It's a little more activation here in your arms, your upper back, your chest. And one more breath in, then we'll forward fold, breathe out. And halfway lift on your inhale, hands to your shins, knees or thighs, long, flat back. Now ball pose as you exhale, fingertips to the floor. And come up onto your tiptoes, hips to your heels, and forehead to your knees, rounding into a little ball. So you're stretching the bottoms of your feet, heels over toes. Bring a little traction and weight into your hands so you can press down and round your spine. Opening the entire back line of your body. Take another breath in. Heels down as you breathe out. And inhale to a mountain pose. And this time take a steeple grip overhead. So steeple grip, you're interlacing all your fingers except for your pointer fingers, and pointer fingers are up towards the ceiling. All right? Now if you can, biceps by your ears, chin away from your chest, and you're trying to eliminate any gap of light between your arms and your neck. And if not, that's okay. Feel free to modify. You can just grab onto your wrist. So we're going to take it to the left or to the right first. So if you're grabbing onto your wrist, you're grabbing onto the left wrist. But otherwise, ground down, lift and lengthen. Bump your hips over to the left. And then you're going to reach up and over to the right. And chin off of your chest. Gaze is either out in front of you or up to the top left corner of your room. And here, trying to be even through both sides. So notice if you're dumping into the right side of your body, then pull out of your right shoulder. Stay through one more exhale. And inhale, rise up to center. Relax your shoulders down your back as you breathe out. And inhale, lift a little higher. Bump your hips right. Start to reach to the left. This is your hot half moon pose. Right ribs roll back. So your heart's opening up towards the ceiling. Again, chin away from your chest. Gaze either straight out in front of you or towards the top right corner of your room. Strong here in your legs. Last breath out. Mountain breathe in. Back bend, cactus your arms. Inhale to a mountain pose. Hands together. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, breathe in. Ball pose, breathe out. And here, if you want to play with your balance, you can wrap your forearms around your shins and press your shins into your arms. And try pulling your chest and belly away from your thighs. So just getting a deeper stretch here across your back. Opening your scapula, rounding your spine. Breathe in. Heels down as you breathe out. Inhale back to your mountain pose. Take a steeple grip overhead. Now, if you want to switch, feel free to switch. So if your right pinky was the furthest away from you, then go ahead and switch. That way it's your left. Steeple grip, lift and lengthen, breathe in. And now second set, hot half moon over to the right. And on the second set, holding it just a little bit longer. So we use the first set to kind of just map things out in our body. And then the second set, we really get to feel it out, see if we can revisit that space. And then using our breath to see if we can maybe extend a little further, maybe sink a little deeper. And last breath out and inhale, rise up. And stay through the exhale. Press through your feet, lift up and out through your fingertips. Pump your hips right, hot half moon over to the left. Again, checking in and try to take it to where you left off. And notice how it feels this time around. Staying connected to your breath, and you reach a little further, sink a little deeper. And if you can, pull your fingertips back another inch. That'll help reach your heart forward. Last breath out, rise up as you breathe in. Then exhale, bring your hands down in front of you. So maintaining your steeple grip. Think of an external rotation here in your arms so your forearms come closer together and you're broad here across your back. Ball mounds of your feet stay together. Now keep your tailbone tucked so we're lengthening your spine. Feel the lift here in your chest and take your chin straight up to the ceiling. And gaze straight up, and now let your fingertips meet your gaze. Now you can stay here for this standing back bend. If you would like to take it further, keep lifting up and out of your fingertips. See if you can find a stretch underneath your arms. Then take your gaze up and back. See if you can find a stretch at your throat. And if this feels okay, then slowly take it further again. Let your gaze guide you. Then can your fingertips follow? So we're not dumping or not compressing in our low spine. We're lifting first and then slowly taking it back. Lift and reach, ground and breathe. Hold here. 5, 4, 3, last 2. Inhale, rise. Slide tucking your chin. Keep your arms lifted. And now keeping your biceps by your ears with a long flat back. Bend your knees and exhale. Slowly lower. Bring your belly to your thighs. And release your grip. Slide your fingertips underneath your heels. Pinkies side by side, forearms behind your calves. If that's not accessible, you can grab for your ankles or you can press against your calves. So now here, notice if more weight's in your heels and try shifting it to your toes. Lengthen your spine. Pull or press against whatever you can reach. Bring your chin more towards your chest, crown of your head towards the floor, foreheads towards your shins. And keeping your eyes open and strong here in your arms. Squeeze your glutes to protect your hamstrings. Engage your quads to try straightening your legs. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Hold here 3. Release in 2 and 1. Return to your steeple grip. Let your arms reach down and then out in front of you, biceps by your ears, flat back. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, release your hands by your sides. Now separate your feet about hips width distance. So feet parallel. Reach your hands out in front of you. Shoulders stay down your back. Heart is going to stay lifted. Breathe in. This is starting the awkward series. We've got 3 different chair pose variations. And then option 1, slowly sit down into a seat. Knees pointing in the same direction here as your toes. Arms reach out in front of you. Shoulders pull back. So you've got a slight lift here in your chest. Trying to get the belly of your thighs parallel here to the floor. And mindful. Maybe sink a little deeper. Can you bring more weight to your heels? Lean back, breathe in. Exhale. And inhale, rise up. Try keeping your arms lifted. And breathe out. Now lift and spread your toes. And ground from your small toe to your big toe. So giving yourself a bigger base. Now pop up on your tiptoes. So tall here through the crown of your head. Option 1, stay right here. Option 2, bend at your knees. And slowly slide your back down the wall. So now here you're still engaging your core. Your shoulders are over your hips. Heels are as high as you can keep them. So if you notice your heels start to sink, maybe just take it right back to the beginning. Shoulders back. Fingers forward, strong in your arms, tall through the crown of your head. Last breath in. Stay for your breath out. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, ground your heels. Now, if you have any knee issues, feel free to take either of those first 2 variations again. Third variation, pivot on your heels. Point your toes in slightly. Squeeze your knees and thighs together. Pop your heels up about an inch. Shoulders stay over your hips. Now from here, slowly slide your back down a wall. And keeping your knees below your hips. So if there was a ball in your lap, it would roll right off. Try keeping your hips above your heels. Still a slight tuck in your tailbone. Your core is active and strong. And squeezing your thighs tight. Next breath in. Slowly rise as slow as you can, as fast as you need to. Ground your heels. Relax your arms by your side. Step your feet back together. And coming into an eagle pose. And inhale, sweep your hands up. Bring your palms to touch. And bring your right arm underneath your left. Crossing, palms together. Back of hands, grab shoulders. You can just keep your forearms and elbows together. So unlike Vinyasa, where you've got your elbows in line here with your shoulders, we're pulling our elbows down towards our navel. Shift your weight into your left leg. Come onto your right tiptoes. Sit low, lean back. When you feel good here in your balance, cross your right leg up and over. If you're struggling with your balance, you can always just keep your right toes grounded. If you've got the full wrap, you can bring your top of your right foot behind your left calf. And slowly sinking into it. Staying for one more breath out. And keep your arms as they are, and inhale, just unwrap your legs. Coming into a balancing stick pose. We'll start with the transition through airplane. So leaning forward, kick out through your right heel. Unwrap your hands at heart center. Retake your steeple grip. So interlacing fingers, pointer fingers reach out in front of you. And now as you breathe in, balancing stick, reach out through your fingertips and biceps by your ears. Extend long through your right toes, level up your hips. Can you lift your arms a little higher? Extend through the crown of your head. Last 3. Stand tall in 2 and 1. Rise up. And we'll take that on the left side. Left arm underneath your right. Again, palms, back hands, shoulders, forearms, and elbows. Choose your arm variation. Weight in your right heel. Come on your left tiptoes. Sit low and lean back. And when you're ready, cross your left leg up and over. So here, sitting down and back, hugging everything tight to the midline of your body. Steady breath, steady gaze. Shoulders away from your ears, tall through the crown of your head. Staying for one more breath out. Then unwrap your legs, keep your arms as they are. And transitioning through an airplane. So leaning forward, if you need to, bring a soft bend into your left knee or your right knee. Keep your left toes flexed towards the floor to level up your hips. Unwrap your hands, retake your steeple grip as you breathe out. Balancing stick pose, breathe in. Long line from your toes, all the way out through your fingertips, biceps by your ears. Breathe here, 3. Stand tall in 2 and 1. Inhale, rise. And exhale, hands by your sides. And take a breath in. And breath out. And one more inhale. And exhale. So with those postures, typically there's 2 sets of the eagle. And for these next balancing poses, usually there's 2. Just for the sake of time, we're just going to do 1 today. So starting with standing forehead to knee pose. Roll your shoulders up and down your back. Palms open to the front. Now lift and spread your left toes. A lot of the postures we've been doing, there's a lot of weight focused on our heels. And now we're focusing more on the front of our foot. So the ball mound of our feet. So strong here in your left leg. Lift your right knee, flex your right foot. So you got 90 degrees at your hip, at your knee, foot's flexed. And option 1, you're staying here. If you want to take this further, you're rounding your spine. No bend here in your left knee. Hands clasp underneath the bottom of your foot. So under the ball mound here of your foot, forehead to knee, you can stay right here. If you want to take this further, look out in front of you as you breathe in. Kick out through your heel as you breathe out. So shoulders pull back. Heart stays lifted, spine is strong. Now if you want to go further yet, start to bend at your elbows. Reach forward, flex your foot, chin to chest, bring your forehead to knee. If you've got it, feel free to stay there. Otherwise, make your way back to the beginning. Find where you feel strongest, where you're steady, and then grow from there. Giving yourself another 3. Last 2 and 1, and slowly ground. Feet together. Shoulders up and down your back. Lift and spread your right toes. Now strong here in your right leg. Feel your right foot drive down through the floor. And then lift your left knee, flex your left foot. Again, from the side, you've got 90 at your hip, knee, foot flex. This is the pose. If you want to take it further, you're rounding, interlacing all your fingers underneath the ball mound of your foot, so your heel's the furthest part away from you. Again, feel free to stay here. No bend here in your right knee. If you want to move further, extend out through your heel. Hold and breathe. Again, same options if you want to go further, bending at your elbows. Reach forward first, then tuck your chin to your chest. Bring your forehead to your knee. Focus more weight on the front of your right foot. Last 3. Last 2. And ground. And breathe in. And breathe out. So standing bow pulling pose is next. And it's similar to dancer, more so just because you're grabbing onto your foot behind you. But here we're looking for more of a twist and a back bend. And our legs, instead of making that wine glass shape that you make in a dancer pose, you're looking more for standing splits eventually in your legs. So start with your hands up. And bring your right hand by your side. Palm faces out. And then right foot in your right hand. Now turn your left palm to face out in front of you and lift. So now you've got your left shoulder in front of you, right shoulder behind you. Hips are going to stay square. Lift straight up. Then draw your knee back up and away. Kick and pull with equal effort. And then slowly start to reach your heart forward. Your left arm here is an extension of your spine. Kick and pull. Hold and breathe. Here, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, rise. Then exhale, let go. And take a breath in. Breath out. Switching sides, hands up. And then bringing your left hand down to your side. Again, no rotation here in your wrist. Another way I like to keep getting into it, we'll try it this way. So hands out in front of you, palms facing one another. And here, take an open arm twist. So hips stay forward, but keep your gaze over your right hand. And then bring your left hand down by your side, left foot, left hand. Right palm down. Then reach your right hand to the sky. Lengthen the right side of your body. Start to draw your left knee back. Kick your toes up towards the ceiling. Once your toes don't go up any higher, start to reach your heart forward. And keeping your gaze focused over your fingertips. Kick and pull. Hold and breathe. Last 3, 2, and rise. And exhale, let it go. Again, that posture, typically do 2 of them, just for the sake of time, speeding things up. And inhale to a mountain pose. Back bend, breathe out. Mountain, breathe in. Forward fold on the exhale. And halfway lift. And now hands on the mat, step back to plank, and then take it to a down dog. Just lifting your hips up and back. Fingers spread wide. Soft bend at your knees, heels reach towards the floor. Now lift your right heel to the sky. Then exhale, step between your hands. Open to a warrior 2 as you breathe in. Spin your left heel down to the mat. Yep. And then here, reaching wide. And open your palms. So your palms are facing the same way as your heart. Look over your back hand. Hot triangle pose. You bring your right elbow to your right knee. Forearm against your shin. Left arm to the ceiling. Chin over your left shoulder. So it's basically your side angle pose from Vinyasa. And then here you're pulling your right hip back. And as you press into your left foot, think about rolling your left hip down and forward. Use your right arm against your left leg. So you've got a slight twist here in your chest. Staying through one more breath out. Belly of your right thigh parallel to the floor. Now reverse warrior as you breathe in. And warrior 2, breathe out. Now star pose. And hands together. Sit low in a goddess squat or horse pose. So knees and toes pointing in the same direction. Slight tuck here in your tailbone. Still squeezing your navel to spine. Tall through the crown of your head. Inhale, reach up, back to your star. Exhale, arms to a T, parallel your feet. Shoulders draw in. Arms reach wide. Now with a flat back. Slowly take it all the way down. Slide your hands underneath your heels. If that's not accessible, grab for your ankles or peace fingers to your big toes. Shift your weight forward in your foot. Bend at your elbows, lengthen your spine, bend at your knees. Now pull the crown of your head towards the floor. Squeezing your glutes. Protect your hamstrings. Engage your quads, straighten your legs. Mindful here of your breath. Lengthen your spine. Stay for one more breath out. Arms wide, flat back. Inhale all the way up. Now bring your palms together overhead. Taking a prayer grip so your palms are together and it's only your thumbs that cross. Shorten your stance. Left foot towards your right. So you still got about 2 to 3 feet between your feet. Then pivot on your heels and turn to the front. Hips square to the front. Weight evenly distributed. If you can, triceps by your ears, standing separate forehead to knee stretch. Lift, breathe in. Now exhale, use your arms to help you round your spine. Bring your forehead down to meet your knee. So bend your right knee as much as you need to. Press your fingertips into the floor. So here we're really rounding and stretching the entire back side of our body. Weight evenly distributed between both feet. Stay for one more breath out. And straighten your right leg. Unroll slowly all the way up. Then hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers. Roll your shoulders back, lift your chest. Toppling tree pose. And here, bring your belly onto your right thigh. If you want to stay in a humble warrior to modify, stay there. Otherwise, shift into your right foot. Shoulders away from your ears. Lift your left leg. Take one more breath in. Release, low lunge, breathe out. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, down dog. Lift your left heel to the sky. And exhale, step between your hands. Open to a warrior two as you breathe in. And settle into it. Again, shoulders over your hips. Strong as you reach. Now open your palms. Look over your back hand. Hot triangle pose. Bring your left elbow to the inside of your knee. Right hand up to the ceiling. Chin to your shoulder. Look towards where you're reaching. And as you press through your right foot, feel your right hip roll forward. Feel your left hip pull gently back. Use your left arm against your left leg so have a little leverage so you can open your heart more towards the ceiling. Last exhale. And inhale, reverse warrior. And exhale, warrior two. Star, breathe in. And goddess squat, horse pose, breathe out. Inhale back to a star. Hands behind your back. Interlace your fingers, roll your shoulders together. And from here, take a wide leg forward fold. Or standing separate leg stretch. Last breath in. Release as you breathe out. Flat back. Inhale, rise up. Palms together overhead. This time, left thumb over your right. Shorten your stance. Pivot on your heels and turn towards the front. Triceps behind your ears. Lift, lengthen, chin to your chest, round your spine, forehead to your knees. So big compression here in your throat. Slow your breath down as necessary. Think of gazing up towards your navel. And now straighten your left leg. Press your head into your arms as you roll all the way up. Hands together behind your back. Roll your shoulders in, lift your chest. Toppling tree pose, bring your belly to your thighs. Press lightly off of your right foot, shift your weight to your left, and from there, can you straighten your left leg? One more breath in. Lunge as you breathe out. Inhale, three-legged dog. And exhale, down dog. Inhale to your toes, and exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, breathe in. And fold, breathe out. And mountain pose. Interlace your fingers and bring your right knee into your chest. And point your right toes down towards the floor. Now take your left hand, grab the bottom of your right foot. Coming into hot tree pose. And from here, point your right knee down towards the floor. And shoulders back, chest lifts, tall through the crown of your head. So tailbone here is tucked. Eventually knees side by side. And maybe if you can, feel free to release your left hand. I still need to hold on to it, otherwise my foot just falls down. And shoulders back, chest proud. You can bring your left hand to heart center. Last exhale. And bring it in as you breathe in. Squeeze tight and ground. Hands up. Interlace your fingers, taking it on the left side. Ground firmly in your right leg. Bring your left thigh in. Point your toes. Right hand grabs the bottom of your foot. Heel towards your pelvis, the midline of your body. Eventually, knees side by side. Tailbone tucks. And bring your left hand to heart center. Last breath out. And bring your knee back in. Squeeze it tight. Exhale, ground. Inhale, mountain pose. Back bend on your exhale. Inhale, reach up. Forward fold, breathe out. And halfway lift. And now crouch and curl. From your crouch and curl, plant your palms. Step all the way back to plank and lower to your chest. Low cobra pose, tops of your feet to the floor. Lighten your hands and lift. Shoulder points down towards the floor, elbows behind you. Press your navel down as you lift. Breathe in. Ground, breathe out. Arms out wide to a T. Fingertips zip tight. Locust pose, lift your chest, lift your arms. As you exhale, lift your legs. Chin away from your chest, but you still got a slight tuck, so you're extending through the crown of your head. Pulling your scapula into one another so you can lift your arms. Squeezing your legs tight so you can lift. One more inhale. Ground on your exhale. Now floor bow. If floor bow isn't in your practice, take another low cobra, take another locust. Otherwise, heels to glutes, reach back, grab the outsides of your feet. Roll your shoulders in, lift your chest. Kick your hands or feet into your hands. Lift. Crown of your head to the ceiling, toes to the ceiling. Here, 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Maybe windshield wipe your legs a few times. And then ground. Hands under your shoulders. And press up into a tabletop. And walk your knees between your hands for fixed firm pose. So knees together, internal rotation here at your thighs. Now you can take a seat on your heels, you can take a seat on your toes. If this is okay on your knees, maybe open up your heels wide enough for your hips to sit between. And we'll just stay here. If you have a block, this is a good spot to just sit on a block as well. And release. Hands out in front of you. Then go ahead and step back to a plank or down dog. Just something to straighten your legs out. Propel it out. That pose has a tendency to cut the circulation off so the blood can flow all the way through the body. Now grounding your knees. Untuck your toes and take a seat on your heels. This time at the back of your mat. Hands together overhead. Cross your thumbs. Chin away from your chest so you're in your prayer grip. Now half tortoise pose. Chin away from your chest. You can bring your forehead to the mat before your hands. And if your hands get there first, it's okay. Now actively pressing your pinky fingers into the floor. So keeping your chin away from your chest. Still squeezing your thighs, outer hips in. And then lift your arms before your forehead. And with the flat back, slowly all the way up. Hands by your sides as you breathe out. And coming into a camel. Knees, hips, shoulders stacked. Knees 2 fist distance apart. Hands at your low back. Elbows, shoulders hug in. Hips stay over your knees. Your heart is lifting. Your chin is lifting. You can stay here. If you want to take it further, keep lifting first. Then slowly take your gaze back. If it's in your practice to take your hands to your heels, feel free to do so. And here, 5, 4, 3, 2, slowly come back up and take a seat on your heels. And take a breath in, breath out, and breath in and out. Now go ahead and reach your hands in front of you, palms facing one another, prepping for rabbit. So not doing anything here to rotate your wrists. Just bring your hands along your side. So thumb to the outside of your ankle, heel in your palm, and then fingers wrap around the inside of your heels. Slightly lean back, tuck your chin. Round your shoulders, bring your forehead to meet your knees. And if your forehead doesn't touch your knees, feel free to stop here. And if it does, start to lengthen your arms, start to lift your hips. Let the crown of your head rest on the floor. Now it's supporting little to no weight. You're just grounded there. Focus more on the opening across your back. Take one more breath in. As you exhale, hips back down. Chin stays tucked. Slowly unroll. And let it go. And go ahead and swing your legs out in front of you. And right foot to the top right corner of your mat. Left foot against your inner right thigh. Interlace your fingers overhead. Now seated forehead to knee pose. Forehead to your knee. Hands to the ball mound of your foot. Now maintain the connection of forehead and knee. And if it feels okay, you can slide your heel away from you. Now again, your heel is the furthest part away from your body. Foot's flexed. You can bend here at your elbows. Shoulders away from your ears. Engaging your quad. And release. Sit up tall. Keep your grip. Switch sides. Left foot out, right foot in. Grounded here through both sit bones. Bend your knee as much as you need. Forehead meets it. Hands slide under the ball mound of your foot. Feel free to stay here. Otherwise, slide your heel away. And release. Inhale, sit up tall. And release your grip. Send both feet out in front of you. Bend your knees so this way you can feel your pelvis tilt forward and reach up. Peace fingers to your big toes. Lengthen your spine, shoulders back, heart forward. Breathe in. Use your arms to pull you deeper. Now, if you can, maybe straighten your legs. Continue to flex your feet. Elbows can open wide. And now pull the crown of your head towards your toes. Shoulders away from your ears. Last inhale. Stay through your exhale and then release. Sit up tall. If you're not, scoot forward to the top of your mat. And slowly lower all the way to your back. Full body stretch. Interlace your fingers. Half when removing pose. Right side, right thigh in. Hands over your knee, thigh towards your ribs, knee towards your armpit. Trying to ground as much of your spine here as you can. So you've got a slight tuck in your tailbone and tucking your chin. Left hand over your right thigh, supine twist. Twist left, reach right. Soften into it. And back to center. Give your right leg another squeeze and release. Full body stretch. Interlace your fingers. Left side, half when removing pose. Bring it in. And notice if your hips want to shift. So keep your left and right hip the same distance from the top of your mat. And right hand over your left thigh. When you're ready, take your twist. And make your way back to center. Squeeze tight. Full body stretch. Bring both knees and thighs in. Full when removing pose. So here, try pressing your low back into the floor. You can have one hand on each shin. You can interlace your fingers. You can grab forearms. Slight tuck here in your chin. Bring your forehead up to meet your knees. One more inhale. And exhale, Savasana. And thank you so much. And take care.